Well, hello and welcome back everyone. I know I did state that this video was gonna be about your choice, that community post, the voting that you did, but then I didn't know then that there would be a second trailer, and now we have got a lot to talk about in the two trailers. I don't think they're gonna add much really in the promotional photos. When you think about it even, the finale trailers do spoil some stuff out of the finale, some major stuff, a major death at least, or the possibility of said major death. Okay, we've got a lot ahead of us. I'm still gonna post that predictions video sometime this week, maybe Monday. I'm still gonna try to post a theory video, maybe on Sunday or Tuesday. If I can't, I can't, but the predictions video, that's set in stone. Probably gonna talk about those promotional photos with the predictions or with that theory. However though, let's not waste any time and get started by checking the first of these two trailers. Let's go. Okay, so speaking of this first trailer, we do see the arc at the very beginning. A lot of people are wondering, why are we seeing the arc? I'm not really certain. I sure hope that seeing the arc over there does not mean that that reset theory is going to take place. That wouldn't make any kind of sense. I wouldn't like it at all. However though, that's a possibility. I'm never denying a possibility, even though that's not really the perfect ending in my opinion. Now the next thing about this trailer is something that's common between this and the other one that we're gonna view in a minute here, which is basically Clarke talking to Maddie. She's sitting on the floor of the MCAP room, Maddie is lying on the floor of the MCAP room, and pretty much what we're seeing over there is something that's gonna happen post their pursuit of Bill Cadigan, the one that started at the end of last week's episode, even though we didn't see any details of that. Now this scene hints at a possible failure to their plans to stop Bill Cadigan, but that's not necessarily true. I mean, there is a moment in the middle of next week's episode, if that's even a scenario, in which they're actually gonna think they failed, that Bill Cadigan won, that he did whatever he wanted to do, and then they're gonna realize, oh, there's another chance to save the day. But at this point in the trailer though, I think Clarke might be planning to do the thing that she was planning to do on the previous episode, on episode 15. I think she might be planning to end Maddie's life. Now there was an argument on my previous video, oh, they were planning to do that in order to stop Bill Cadigan, in order to make sure that Bill Cadigan doesn't get the code out of Maddie. But the thing is, as painful as it is to both the audience and to Clarke, being the character that represents the mother over here, I think the idea is putting Maddie out of her misery. In the end, Octavia and Clarke did head to Bordeaux with the plan of getting Maddie out of there, saving Maddie. They could have just carried her out again. I mean, one of them at least could have tried to carry her out of there. That meant as well that that person could get reinforcements, but nonetheless, I think it is about putting Maddie out of her misery. And don't get me wrong, I don't agree with the action, I would never do that, but in the end, some people are thinking that's insulting to people with disabilities. I don't think it's really insulting. I think the point over here is Maddie is just beyond disability. Maddie is no longer alive in a way. Once again though, I don't really agree with most of the decisions that Clarke makes, but nonetheless, I do think that was the objective, that was the thought that's going through her head. And the mother who cares about her child is usually a little bit possessive. She doesn't want to lose her, she's not thinking she's a burden, she just doesn't want her to suffer for the entirety of her life. That's the thing with the Clarke-Maddie relationship. I mean, it's gonna hurt Clarke so much and forever, but nonetheless, she's willing to do it to save this child the agony. But the next two moments though on this trailer, one is all about Jordan walking out of that anomaly. That's another scene that we do see as well on the other trailer. Like that trigger he's holding is pretty much what he uses to stop the disciples, to disable the disciples, even if temporarily, at least that's what I think. Whatever that is that he is using over there, it does seem from the second trailer for the finale that it does end up working, dropping all of the disciples down. It's possibly something like an EMP device or something that's pretty much gonna use their suits against them. We know that he's not gonna do any harm to them because we know Jordan. Jordan's the one who said on episode 15, war is a failure of everything. So I don't think he's planning to kill people over here, no matter what side they are on. But okay though, it is good to know that Echo is alive. That's one of the things I mentioned on my episode 15 review. We did watch that episode, we did know what happened to everyone in the bunker except for two people, Nyla and Echo, and it is good to know that both of them are alive. We do know about Nyla from the second trailer. However though, and as far as predictions go, I do have a prediction as to who's gonna end up killing Bill Cadigan, but that is just my primary prediction. Like my top prediction, there's a second possibility in my mind. Like the first one is more like a 70%, and this one is a 30%. The 30% happens to be Echo. I mean, when Echo found about the death of Bellamy, she did not get angry at Clarke. She kind of blamed, indirectly, Bill Cadigan. Like, she didn't say it in so many words, but that's what we got out of it. Let's blame the cult and the cult leader that implanted those beliefs in Bellamy. So it is possible that Echo is not just there to save the day. She's gonna help with that, of course, but nonetheless, it is possible as well that she is out for blood. Bill Cadigan's, of course. Now, we have the disciples on one end. We have one of them shouting, "The last war is here." We all know, based on what Jordan read in the scriptures of the original Bardoans, based on what he translated, this is going to be a test, and the only problem is who takes the test in order for the human race to survive. But as per the usual in false gods and believers in false gods, these people do believe that this is the last war, and they're facing someone, they're facing an enemy that could gas them to death, just like they did with the previous tenants of this planet. So at this point, their belief that this is the last war is all about Indra, Shadheda, everyone from Sanctum, everyone from the Grounders, everyone who's pretty much gonna come along in order to stop Bill Cadigan, in order to stop the extinction of the human race at the hands and the decisions of Bill Cadigan. But in the next scene, we see Murphy. He's angry, he's worried about Emori. I still believe that Murphy is the one who's gonna die here, that Emori is gonna wake up, she's gonna survive. I think that Murphy doesn't realize that he's got some kind of concussion, some kind of internal problem, internal bleeding possibly, and once Emori wakes up, once he's happy to see her come back to life, I think that he's gonna collapse. He's gonna be the person who dies out of this couple. We've got Bill Cadigan walking the halls of Bardo on his way to probably go through that white portal in order to get to the other side, figure out and find out what he's always wanted to find. We've got everyone in Bardo. We can see Indra, we can see Hope, we can see Jordan, we can see them all fighting in order to stop the disciples and subsequently stop Bill Cadigan. We've got what looks like either a white portal opening and swallowing these people, but more like an explosion. You know, all those disciples in Bardo that we see in that hallway. And finally, we've got Raven talking here. We're selfish and we're violent, but we survived. Now that's the whole point of all of it. That's what I've been saying for so many videos and people have been complaining about. There are a lot of decisions that have been made by this group, not just by Clarke. I mean, Clarke was always the initiator, the decision maker, but all of them in the end kind of fell in line, kind of decided to agree with her, kind of supported her in those decisions. So yeah, they're all selfish. Clarke could be the most selfish out of them. Clarke could have used her decision-making position, her decision to be the decision maker in order to make better decisions, but nonetheless, they're all selfish. They've done a lot of stupid shit, violent shit, but in the end, it is true as well that they've survived all along. I think that's possibly a defense that Raven is using against, the people, the superior beings that are going to judge them. It is possible that not only one person is going to take the test, it is possible it's going to be more than one person, and Raven is going to be one of them. Because right now, and based on the second trailer, I do think that Clarke is the one who's going to be taking that test. But the final few screenshots out of this trailer, though, happen to be 1, guns on the disciples' end, 2, guns firing on the good guys' end, namely Indra, and yeah, good and bad are relative. So no matter how much I disagree with the decisions made by Clarke and the decisions that everyone else in Team Clarke did fall in line with, I still believe they're the better guys. But finally, though, 3, there is that moment with Clarke walking alone through the hallways of Bardo, firing that gun seemingly repeatedly, and probably not just at disciples, possibly trying to go after Bill Cadigan. That's still a possibility. I mean, I say I have an option 1 and I have Echo as option 2, but there is the possibility that Clarke is going to try to avenge Maddie from Bill Cadigan. Remember, Echo might want the blood of Bill Cadigan. Shadheda has got a stake in all of this because he does not want the world to end. He still wants to be king, but nonetheless, Clarke's got the biggest stake. I mean, she just lost her daughter because of this man. This is the strongest relationship that you would want to avenge. This is the strongest reason you would want to stop this guy. But okay though, one trailer down, one to go. Let's watch that second trailer and then break it down in detail. Let's go. Okay, so the very first scene on this trailer is kind of a little bit confusing. I mean, it seems like Clarke is walking out of the white portal, the very same white portal that we watched on Anaconda, the one that Becca Franco went through, the one she came back from, fearful of what she saw over there, the one that she precisely stated that Bill Cadigan should never go through. So the question over here is Clarke going to take the test? Are they really spoiling the biggest piece of information that we've been asking ourselves for so long on this season on a trailer prior to the finale? Well, for one thing, I don't really think so, but a CW could still be stupid enough to put that in a trailer. I mean, I'm not really certain. Anyway, in that case, we do not just know that she's gonna take the test, we know that she's gonna pass the test, and passing the test means nothing changes, because right there on this trailer, she's pretty much back in the bridge room in Bordeaux. So that means that nothing really changes. All the theories, the reset theories and all of that, that is not going to happen. And again, that's another major spoiler that I don't think they're gonna spoil on a trailer. Now, a lot of people have been wondering, have been complaining about the survival of Shadeheada, like, why are they keeping him alive? Why did they not just kill him? Oh, this finale, it's gonna be so rushed. Personally, I say they used good reasoning to keep him alive throughout the season, even though that also seemed like a lot of plot armor. Like, at some point, the many times that they had the chance to kill him, he should have died, but nonetheless, in the end, they had some kind of good reasoning. Nonetheless, Shadeheada was kept alive for a reason. He's got a stake in this. As he mentioned on episode 15, I'm the king of Sanctum. So what he's trying to do over here is save his kingdom. He wants to stay alive. He doesn't want to transcend. He doesn't want to turn into some kind of light like Bill Cadigan keeps stating, or Bellamy kept stating, back when Bellamy was alive, of course. But he's there for the fight. He's not giving up. He's gonna try to stop Bill Cadigan. And no matter how much of a villain he is, and he's still gonna be a villain after all of this, he's got Singeda crew following him through this war. That's the only way at this point to unite the clans. Think about it this way. Indra could have killed Shadeheada a couple of episodes ago. Bill Cadigan could have killed Shadeheada on episode 15. But in either case, I don't think Singeda crew would have fallen in line behind anyone, not behind Indra, not behind anyone else, even if Bill Cadigan were the one to kill Shadeheada, because they wouldn't have even believed Indra. Like, she would go back, line up guys, we need to fight this, where's Shadeheada? Oh, he's been killed by Bill Cadigan. Sorry, no, you're a liar. I think that would have been the natural outcome. The man took him to save him, why would he even kill him? But everyone is fighting. Octavia seems to be in the middle of the battlefield. In the end, we know from another scene on this trailer that Levitt fell to his own death, or at least got shot. That also puts the moment of the first trailer into perspective. The one with Jordan, Hope, and Indra in the line of fire. I think this is connected with a scene where Octavia is running towards Levitt and then ends up in the middle of the battlefield, trying to save Levitt. I think at that point Hope is going to try to run into the battlefield, trying to save her second mother, trying to save Octavia. That's probably why as well Jordan is trying to hold her back, trying to pull her down, trying to make sure she stays grounded instead of getting herself killed. Now, the next piece on this trailer might be the same scene that we got to see on the first trailer, with Clarke and the gun at the very end of that trailer, or possibly another one. Back then, she was holding one gun in one hand. Right here, she seems to be holding two guns, one in each hand, and Octavia is right behind her, and so is Levitt, and that seems to be a continuation of the final scene out of the 15th episode. It is possible that they are one and the same scene, while it is possible as well that they are two separate scenes. But yeah, though, we've got more hints that Clarke is going to take the test. I really don't want that to be the case, but it's like she's defending herself over there. There's no good reason to mention the entire thing with Mount Weather, committing genocide unless she's basically going through that test. Have I pulled the lever to commit genocide? Yes. Did love make me do this? You're damn right it did. There have been a lot of arguments over so many videos, a lot of people trying to justify genocide, and I love that about all those commenters. It's really amazing. Blows my mind away how people would defend genocide over a make-believe character, but nonetheless, let's go back to the point over here. Clarke is admitting that she committed genocide, that she was fully knowing that she was committing genocide. Did I pull the lever to commit genocide? I mean, it's one thing if you're doing it in order to get rid of the bad guys, not thinking about the impact on the others. That's a bad thing, that's a selfish thing, but nonetheless, it's one thing, and it's another thing to do it knowing that you're committing genocide. You're doing it to commit genocide. However, though, it is the selfish reason, love, just the love of a few people that made her decide that they're better than those other people that she killed. Some good people out of those people, an entire community actually of good people except for a few leaders and some few of their followers and helpers. But yeah, selfish is most definitely a perfect word over here. Another thing that makes me wonder is what if Pike was that bad guy? What if Pike was doing all of this stuff and in the end someone else committed genocide while Clarke was in the Sky Crew camp, under the leadership of the very bad Pike? What would have people felt about that? I think a lot of people would have really complained about that. I think the morality compass would have completely changed. So yeah, our moral codes need to be a little bit less flexible, especially when we're making them flexible for make-believe characters. But okay, we've got the scene with Levitt in the middle of the battlefield shot and Octavia running towards him. We've got a scene with Nikki and Co coming through the portal with Raven into the pit, into the bunker, in order to bring back what remains of Team Clarke that are left in that pit. Indra's wondering what Nikki and Co are doing over there, and Raven just appears from behind them, saving your asses again. So pretty much Nikki and Raven are doing well together, they're playing nice together, pretty much everyone is uniting in this episode. Everyone who doesn't believe in Cadigan is uniting in order to defeat Bill Cadigan. We've got Octavia, Levitt, and Echo running through the woods of Bardo, possibly trying to join the battle, possibly trying to help the battle, not really sure here. And the next thing is Miller kind of posing a question in the form of a comment. We still don't have a plan that doesn't end up with us all dead. But the next scene over here is in the bridge room with Clarke, Levitt, and Octavia walking in, right after Bill Cadigan has possibly opened that white portal and went through it because the white portal is up and they're surprised to see it, so they're probably going to be extremely worried. That's possibly when Clarke will kind of give up, go back to Maddie, tell her that she failed everyone, but then she's probably also going to think, what the hell, I'm just going to go back to that room, go through that portal, and try to take the test myself. But next up, though, is a continuation of that statement of Miller's. Echo states that Jordan was about to tell them about a plan, and he states, "This one will make my father proud," and that kind of leads into that scene that we watched on the first trailer, him taking down all the disciples. We've got a lot more battle moments, just like the first trailer, that statement with Raven, we're selfish, we're violent, but we survived. There are two distinct taglines on both trailers, their fight is over, that's understandable, but there's also may we meet again. I think that's hinting towards the prequel, because we're gonna meet again with some 100 story, some related story, the story of what happened post-Anaconda. But finally, though, there is that scene with Clarke. I know you don't want to leave, but you have to go. I think this is not just about ending her life like the case was on last week's episode. I think that was planted there on purpose. So when watching this trailer, we'd think, oh, she's gonna kill Maddie. That's the plan. She's gonna end her life in order to save her the pain and the agony. But I think she's gonna make a deal with the people on the other side of the portal. Like, take her, save her. That's my punishment for all that I've done. Take my daughter away from me, keep her on your end, but at least save her. Well, I think the reason they're gonna forgive Clarke or let her go or let humanity go is because of what happened to Maddie. Like, you've already had your punishment. Maddie, on the other hand, might actually end up transcending, turning into a light, whatever the end game there is. With that said, though, this video is longer than I expected. It's two trailers that I was working on breaking down while at the same time kind of giving a hint at what I think is going to happen based on those trailers. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of both trailers. If I missed anything on either trailer, let me know as well if you did like this video by dropping it one of those much appreciated likes, subscribing to this channel, and make sure while you're at it to enable notifications in order to get updates whenever I upload a new video, publish a new community post, or start a new live stream. But until the next time that you tune in for another one of my videos, the 100 or otherwise, thank you so much for tuning into this video, stay safe, and have a great day.